a young woman is completely alone with no one around to help her. Far away from the city, deep inside a dense forest, there's a hidden place that no one knows about. For 132 days, she hides there, keeping her identity secret. She is surrounded by thousands of people who appear human, but act in ways that strip away humanity. One small mistake could lead her into something she never imagines. Welcome to Unique Storytellers. What exactly happens in this place? From here, no one has ever returned alive. This is not fiction. It is based on real events. At the end of the video, I will even show the real photographs of the actual people involved. I will also reveal what ultimately happens to them. This is a film that shakes audiences across the world, a chilling yet powerful story. Unique Storytellers presents Colonia. The movie begins in the year 1973. Chile is in turmoil as political riots erupt across the country. Chile, a small nation in South America, faces intense pressure from the U.S. government, which wants President Salvador, a communist leader, to step down. Yet ordinary citizens admire Salvador, and his supporters rally for him throughout the nation. Day by day, Chile edges closer to civil war. Meanwhile, we see air hostess Lena. Soon after, Lena, her colleagues, and her closest friend, pilot Roman, are traveling by car. On the road, they encounter protesters, forcing their car to stop. Among the crowd, Lena spots her boyfriend Daniel. Here we learn that both Lena and Daniel are from Germany. They are German citizens. Despite his nationality, Daniel passionately supports Chile's struggle. Lena visits Daniel's home, where they spend time together. Later that night, Daniel takes Lena to a meeting, and we discover that he is a photographer. For months earlier, he arrived in Chile, and now he considers it his own country. He longs for Chile's freedom and designs posters to support the movement. One morning, Daniel receives a phone call that terrifies him. He tells Lena they must escape immediately. Their lives are in danger. He explains that a military coup has taken place, meaning the government no longer holds power. Control now lies with the army chief. Soldiers are arresting Salvador's supporters, so they must flee at once. Daniel and Lena rush outside, witnessing soldiers brutally attacking protesters. Daniel begins capturing these scenes with his camera. An army officer notices him taking photos and arrests both Daniel and Lena, dragging them away with other protesters. Soon, everyone is taken to a large stadium. A man with his face covered is brought in to identify Salvador's supporters. Eventually, he points out Daniel, revealing that Daniel creates posters for the movement. Hearing this, the soldiers take Daniel away in a white ambulance. Lena is devastated, but she has no way to save him. The next day, Lena and many others are released. She immediately goes to Daniel's home, only to find everything destroyed. Amid the wreckage, she notices a photograph of herself with Daniel, a painful reminder of their bond. Meanwhile, Daniel suffers relentless torture. He is interrogated about who else is with him. Daniel insists that no one is involved, that he lives in Germany, and denies any connection to the movement. In response, soldiers subject him to electric shocks. At the same time, Lena meets Daniel's companions. She tells them that Daniel was taken away in an ambulance and pleads for them to rescue him. They explain that Daniel has been transported south to a place where prisoners are held, a secluded compound known as Colonia Dignidad. No one truly knows what happens inside. Lena urges them to help, reminding them that Daniel worked for their cause. But they reply that this is not just Lena's or Daniel's struggle. It is the fight of all people. For that reason, they refuse to intervene. Daniel continues to endure brutal treatment. Lena, desperate for answers, goes to the Amnesty International Embassy to learn about Colonia. The officer on duty tells her that Colonia was established many years ago, presented as a charitable mission, and even approved by the government. As Lena prepares to respond, the officer discreetly signals her to say thank you and goodbye. Confused, Lena does so. He then closes the door, turns on the radio, and explains that microphones are hidden everywhere, so their conversation must appear casual. Only then does he reveal the truth. Colonia looks like a mission of goodwill, but in reality, it is a cult led by Paul Schaefer, known as Pius. Schaefer once lived in Germany as a Christian preacher. After the war, he brought his followers to Chile and founded Colonia. What happens inside remains a mystery, but one fact is certain. Entering Colonia is possible, leaving it is not. Despite learning all this, Lena makes a courageous decision. She will go to Colonia. The following day, Lena dresses in missionary style, clothing, and boards a bus headed toward Colonia. Soon she arrives, noticing that the compound is surrounded by barbed wire. A woman named Gisela opens the gate and brings Lena inside. Gisela asks if Lena wants to become one of them. Lena replies that she has come precisely for that reason. Gisela takes her to the office. On the way, Lena sees a young boy leaving the confession room in tears. Concerned, she asks him why he is crying, but Gisela quickly intervenes, warning Lena to stay away from the child. Lena then enters the confession room, where Paul is seated. He asks why she has come. Lena answers that she wishes to walk in God's path, carefully hiding her true purpose. Paul asks if she knows who he is. Lena responds that he is Pius, the one who guides people toward faith. He then questions whether she has a boyfriend. Lena denies it, saying she only wants to follow religion and God's way. Paul instructs her to remove her clothing. Nervously, Lena complies. He presses her repeatedly to reveal her real reason for coming. Lena insists she is here for him, that she needs him. Hearing this, Paul embraces her. Afterward, Gisela shows Lena her room, explaining that children, women, and men are kept separately. Soon, other girls arrive, their expressions revealing that life here is far from pleasant. Something mysterious is hidden behind the surface of this place. Lena befriends a girl named Dorothea, who casually mentions that her marriage will take place soon. Before she can say more, Gisela returns and distributes tablets for everyone to take. Their purpose will be revealed later. Meanwhile, Daniel is also inside Colonia. He has been admitted to the hospital because of severe injuries. The doctor explains that repeated electric shocks have left him in critical condition. His recovery is uncertain, and Daniel now appears like a mental patient, broken by the torment he has endured. The next day, Lena joins the other women working in the fields. Exhausted, she collapses, and Gisela begins whipping her. Lena pleads for water, saying she is thirsty. Gisela brings a bucket of water, but warns that if even a single drop is consumed before evening, Lena will face severe punishment. This is the rule here. Water remains in front of her, yet she must endure thirst until the set time. 8 days pass in this torment. On the 9th day, Lena finally gets a chance to speak with Dorothea. She asks how Dorothea can marry when men and women are kept apart. Dorothea explains that she met her fiancé, Dieter, during a mixed parade. Lena asks what that means. Dorothea says that when important guests visit, everyone is dressed in fine clothes, and men and women are brought together. That is how she met Dieter. Lena asks when the last mixed parade took place. Dorothea replies it was 3 years ago. Shocked, Lena asks how she has seen Dieter since then. Dorothea admits they have never met again. Lena is stunned. Days later, Paul gathers everyone in the hall. In the center lies a dead body. Paul acts as though he can bring the person back to life. Except for Lena, the others believe him. When faith blinds people, they lose the ability to distinguish truth from falsehood. These followers are so consumed by belief that they accept the impossible. Naturally, the dead man does not rise. One man shouts that sinners among them are preventing the miracle. Everyone accepts this explanation as truth, abandoning logic entirely. 37 days later, the doctor takes Daniel to a factory. He speaks with a man named Benoit and refers to Daniel as Hans. Daniel behaves like a madman, his mind shattered by electric shocks. The doctor instructs Benoit to keep watch over him. Meanwhile, Gisela tells Lena that everyone likes her, especially Dorothea. Gisela's suspect Dorothea has spoken to Lena and tries to extract information. She mentions Dorothea's upcoming marriage. Lena confirms she has heard about it and says the groom's name is Dieter. Daniel continues working. When Benoit leaves, Daniel reveals he is perfectly sane. He has only been pretending. He sneaks into a locked room and discovers a camera. Just then, Benoit returns, and Daniel resumes his act of madness. That night, Gisela drags Dorothea away. Lena secretly follows. She sees Dorothea taken into a room filled with men. Paul declares that Dorothea's body is possessed by evil. Before Dorothea can speak, Paul calls out Dieter's name and orders him to strike her. Dieter resists but cannot disobey. He slaps Dorothea, and Paul commands the others to do the same, claiming it will drive out the evil. The men begin hitting Dorothea mercilessly. Lena watches in horror, realizing this place is darker than she ever imagined. Suddenly, she notices Daniel among them. At that moment, someone spots Lena at the window. Paul rushes over, but Lena escapes before he arrives. She returns to her room and lies down. Paul storms into the women's quarters, only to find all of them in bed. The next day, Lena secretly meets Ursel, a nurse at the hospital. She asks about Dorothea's condition and how she might gain access to the men's meeting because she saw Daniel there and longs to speak with him. Before Ursel can answer, Lena quickly leaves. Daniel, meanwhile, hides a torch, clearly planning something. During work, Lena slips away to a lake, removes her clothes, and dives in. She knows that breaking rules in Colonia means being dragged before the men and punished, and among them is Daniel. By defying the rules, she ensures Daniel will see her. Her plan works. That night, Lena is brought to the men's meeting, but Daniel is absent as he is attempting to escape. Paul begins beating Lena, accusing her of being possessed by evil, and orders the men to strike her as well. Just then, Daniel accidentally tears a wire, triggering an alarm that signals someone is trying to flee Colonia. Everyone searches for the escapee. Daniel touches the barbed wire fence, receives a high-voltage shock, and collapses. When they find him, they assume he touched the fence by mistake, since they believe he is insane. Because of this incident, Lena is spared further punishment that night. Paul warns her not to repeat such mistakes. Time passes 130 days. Paul is seen teaching songs to young boys, then taking 3 of them away and committing horrific abuse. Since this film is based on true events, it shows how such cruelty strips away humanity, making animals seem far better than these men. Later, Colonia's members are dressed in new clothes and prepared for a special occasion. General Pinochet is visiting. During the mixed parade, men and women are brought together, and Lena finally sees Daniel. He is stunned, never imagining she would risk everything to enter this nightmare for him. They stand side by side. Lena whispers that she has duty at the potato warehouse that night and tells him to meet her there. She gives Daniel a cross pendant. That evening, they reunite. Daniel explains that children here never know their parents because 3 months after birth they are taken away from their mothers. Lena asks how he knows all this. Daniel says people think he is mad, so they speak freely around him. He adds that escape is impossible. The compound is surrounded by electrified barbed wire. While talking, they notice something unusual in the ground, a tunnel. Daniel crawls inside to investigate, discovering the torture chamber where he was once abused. Suddenly, Lena hears Gisela's car. She quickly covers the tunnel entrance and pretends to peel potatoes. Gisela arrives and takes Lena away. The next day, Paul summons Lena and instructs her to watch Ursel, suspecting she is hiding something. Later, Ursel confides in Lena, revealing that she came to Colonia at the age of 9. When Lena asks about her parents, Ursel shocks her by saying, "Gisela is my mother." Meanwhile, Daniel undergoes a physical test because today he is to be exposed to poisonous gas, a substance Paul has created for Chile's new president. During the examination, the cross Lena gave him falls from his clothing. Ursel notices it and discovers the photo of Daniel and Lena hidden inside. That night, Lena returns to work at the potato warehouse. Daniel meets her there and explains that he has explored the tunnel completely. At one point, it is blocked by an iron door, which he believes may lead to an escape route. He tells Lena they must flee tonight because tomorrow he will be subjected to the gas, and if that happens, he will not survive. Daniel shows her photographs he has taken inside the tunnel, using a camera he secretly retrieved from the locked room at his workplace. Suddenly, the sound of a car approaches, and Daniel hides in the tunnel. Lena quickly conceals one of the photos under a bucket. Moments later, Gisela arrives with Ursula. Ursula admits she forgot to bring a knife, so Gisela leaves to fetch one. In that brief moment, Ursula tells Lena that Paul instructed her to watch Lena closely. Lena is shocked because Paul had told her the same about Ursula. Ursula continues, saying she knows Daniel is the man Lena loves because she saw his locket, and she realizes they plan to escape. Lena denies it, but Gisela returns and discovers the hidden photo. She drags Lena to Paul. He demands to know where Lena found it. Before she can answer, Daniel appears and claims he gave the photo to Lena. Paul asks Daniel where he got it, still pretending to be insane. Daniel says if he reveals the truth, Uncle Benault will beat him. Paul reassures him, and Daniel says he found it in Benault's factory. Paul investigates and discovers many more photos there, because Daniel had deliberately left them in Benault's room to create suspicion between them and protect himself. Paul orders Gisela to take Lena away. As they walk, Lena strikes Gisela on the head, knocking her unconscious. Daniel arrives, and together they run. They return to the potato warehouse, take Ursula with them, and escape through the tunnel. Soon, others realize Daniel and Lena are fleeing and begin searching. Daniel cuts through the iron door and leads Lena and Ursula onward. They reach a section filled with water, unsure how to proceed. Meanwhile, Paul finds numerous tablets in Daniel's bed, realizing Daniel never consumed them. These tablets are revealed to be narcotics given to the members. Back in the tunnel, Daniel notices a passage beneath the water. He tells the others, and one by one they dive through. Ursula's clothing gets caught on a wire, and she nearly drowns, but Daniel rescues her just in time. Finally, they emerge from the tunnel. Against all odds, Lena, Daniel, and Ursula succeed in escaping Colonia. Ursula quietly thanks Lena for helping her. But just moments later, tragedy strikes. Ursula accidentally steps into a hidden trap, triggering a spring-loaded gun mechanism. A shot fires instantly and hits her. Before anyone can help, Ursula dies right there. Lena is completely devastated after witnessing her death. Daniel quickly calms her down and explains that they must crawl across a dangerous section of land if they want any chance of escaping alive. Somehow, after an exhausting struggle, they finally manage to reach the city and head straight to the German embassy. But even outside the colony, the danger is far from over. At the embassy, Daniel shows the officials the photographs he secretly takes as evidence of the horrifying crimes happening inside the colony. One embassy employee gives them passports and informs them that the next available flight to Germany leaves in 1 week. Until then, they have no choice but to remain in Chile. That news terrifies them because staying in Chile for another week could easily cost them their lives. By now, Paul has already started searching for them everywhere. Desperate for help, Lena contacts her old friend Roman, the pilot shown earlier in the story. She learns that Roman has a flight leaving that very day, and she begs him to take them out of the country immediately. At the same time, a shocking betrayal unfolds inside the embassy. One of the officials secretly contacts Paul because he is actually working as Paul's informant. He reveals that Lena and Daniel are planning to escape with evidence exposing the colony's crimes. Soon after, the ambassador assures the couple that staying with him is the safest option and promises to personally escort them to the airport. Trusting him, Daniel and Lena leave with the ambassador. However, on the way to the airport, they notice something strange. Instead of using the normal entrance road, the ambassador drives through a completely different route. He claims it is for their protection, so Paul's men cannot recognize them. But after arriving at the airport, the ambassador places them inside a room and tells them to wait there for a while. Meanwhile, Roman becomes worried after noticing that Lena still has not boarded the plane. At the same time, Daniel and Lena finally realize the horrifying truth. The ambassador is also connected to Paul, and the entire situation is a trap designed to hand them back over to the colony. They desperately try to escape the room, but the door is locked from the outside. A short time later, Paul himself arrives there with the ambassador. But before they can capture them, Lena and Daniel smash the window and escape just in time. They rush across the airport, steal a vehicle, and drive directly toward the airplane while Paul's men chase them from behind. Somehow, Daniel and Lena manage to board the aircraft seconds before it departs. The doors close, and for the first time, Paul fails to stop them. Just as Roman prepares the plane for takeoff, Paul contacts the airport control tower and demands that the flight be canceled immediately. The control tower then orders Roman to shut down the aircraft and stop the flight from leaving. But Lena desperately pleads with him not to listen. She explains that if they remain in Chile, both she and Daniel will almost certainly be killed. Faced with an impossible decision, Roman chooses to break protocol. He restarts the engines and pushes the aircraft forward. Finally, carrying Lena and Daniel safely on board, the plane leaves Chile behind and flies toward Germany. And with that emotional escape, Colonia comes to an end. This film is inspired by real events that take place in Chile, and the colony shown in the story truly exists in real life. Inside that colony, countless people suffer horrifying abuse and inhumane treatment for decades. Over a span of 40 years, only 5 people successfully managed to escape from the real colony. Eventually, stories of the cruelty happening there spread across the world, shocking people internationally. Yet despite the growing outrage, the Chilean government continues protecting Paul for many years, allowing his activities to continue. After the fall of Augusto Pinochet, Paul is finally arrested in Argentina in 2004. He later receives a prison sentence of 33 years for his crimes. In 2010, Paul dies. And this is the real story behind one of the most disturbing events ever adapted into film. If this video touched your heart, make sure to leave a like and share it with others. And if you're new to Unique Storytellers, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell so you never miss another story. See you in the next video. Until then, stay safe and stay healthy.